Good morning, everyone. Today we are discuss about urinary retention. What is meant by urinary retention? The emptying of bladder is impaired, urine accumulates and the bladder becomes over distended. The urine accumulates in the bladder itself only and the bladder becomes over distended and there may be impaired emptying of the bladder. This is urinary retention. Okay, over distension of the bladder causes poor contractility of detrusor muscle. Okay, detrusor muscle is location of detrusor muscle is within the bladder. Okay, what are the main causes? Obstruction of urine flow. There may be enlargement of prostate gland or any pregnancy or any surgery or any diagnostic examinations. There may be obstruction of urine flow. And after that, if any detrusor muscle and the internal sphincter, any alterations in their functions, there may be urinary retention will be there. Any spinal cord injury, peripheral nerve trauma or any degeneration of peripheral nerves, they may get any defects in that. There may be chances of urinary retention. And after that, inability to relax external sphincter, that means emotional stress or any anxiety and muscle tension. Okay, and after that, prevention and treatment of retention of urine. What are the main treatment and prevention for retention of urine? There may be natural urination are methods used in inducing natural urination are assist the patient to his or her normal position for voiding and provide privacy to the patient and offer a bedpan or urinal. Any bedpan or urinal we must offer to the patient that is warm. A bedpan that is cold to touch may cause contraction of the perineal muscles. And after that, muscles relaxation, physical support to the patient and by relieving pain. Physical support to the patient and by relieving pain. Provide any assistance when the patient feels the need to void. Okay, provide any assistance when the patient feels the need to void. This is about prevention and treatment of retention of urine. Okay, we must to assist the patient to his or her normal position for voiding and provide privacy or offer a bedpan or urinal. And after that, provide enough time for micturition and emotional support, and a hot enema if permitted may relieve the retention of the urine and give fluids plenty. And after that, if any nursing interventions have failed, catheterization of the bladder is done with the doctor's permission. We must take physician order done bladder catheterization. And after that, any certain drugs which cause contraction of the bladder may be ordered by the physician. Okay, this is all about urinary retention. What are the specimen types? Random means a randomly collected specimen collected at unspecified times and is often more convenient for the patient. First morning specimen or 8-hour specimen. 8-hour specimen or first morning specimen. And fasting specimen, 2-hour postprandial specimen, 24-hour specimen and catheterized specimen. Okay, and then midstream clean catch specimen. Midstream. Okay, midstream we have to collect midstream urine. And after that, suprapubic aspiration and pediatric specimen. Collection of urine specimen. How to collect the urine? First, urine collection by U-bag for infants. Urine collection from catheter. 24 hours urine collection of midstream urine. We must take only midstream urine and 24 hours urine collection will be there. Once you see here how to collect urine. What are the definition? Urine analysis in which the components of urines are identified is part of every client assessment at the beginning and during an illness. What is the main purpose? To make diagnosis and to help in treatment, to note progress or recess of a disease, and to observe the effects of special treatment and drugs. To investigate the nature of diseases, to aid the doctor in diagnosis and treating the diseases. And after that, we have to instruct the patient. Provide adequate explanations regarding collection of specimens, and ask the patient to wash the external genital area with soap and water, then rinse with water alone before collecting urine specimens. And equipment should used for the collection of specimens should be clean and dry. No antiseptic should be present in the specimen bottle. Okay, if while you are taking any specimen bottle, you must be observe that no antiseptic should be present in that specimen bottle. And after that, morning specimen should be collected and midstream specimen, and we should be always be fresh for the laboratory examination. And after that, any bacteria in the room temperature, so the specimens which are not tested immediately should be kept in the refrigerator, because bacteria should be multiply in room temperature. Because of that only we must take collection specimen and store in refrigerator. Okay, and after why we put that specimen in refrigerator? Because cold temperature inhibits the growth of bacteria. Okay, and after that, wash hands thoroughly after handling that specimen, and container should have a wide mouth to prevent spilling of the specimens on the outer side of the bottle, and containers of the proper size are used according to the nature of specimen. This is the instruct how to instruct the patient. And after that, procedure. What is the procedure? Main, instruct patient to wash perineum, clean and dry container or into bedpan, or then transfer. Instruct not contaminate outside of container. Instruct to collect 3/4 of container. Wear gloves while handling urine. What is nursing alert? After collecting that urine, we must be label the specimen. And what is the reason for labeling the specimen? Reduce handling after the container or bottle is contaminated. Okay, after that, note on the specimen label if the female client is menstruating at the time. One of the tests routinely performed is a test for blood in the urine. Okay, they may be menstruating at the time a urine specimen is taken. A false positive reading for blood will be obtained. Because of that only we must be label outside. To avoid contamination and necessity of collecting another specimen, soap and water cleansing of the genitals immediately preceding. Okay, and after that, maintain body substances precaution to maintain safety. And after that, wake a client in the morning to obtain a routine specimen, and be sure to document the procedure in the designated place and mark it off on the cardex. Okay, this is about nursing alert. And after that, providing urinal. Meeting urinary elimination need of bedridden male patients using an urinal. From whom this urinal will be provided? Bedridden male patients. Okay, what is the main purpose? Elimination needs of the client, and to give perineal care, and to collect specimen for diagnostic procedure. What is the procedure? Assess patient's normal urinary elimination habits and palpate for distended labor, and assess patient knowledge regarding urinal use, and wash and don gloves, provide privacy to the patient, assist patient into appropriate position. Okay, how to provide urinal and whom to provide urinal? Bedridden male patients. This is urinal. Okay. Patient should hold urinal and position penis in urinal. Once patient has finished voiding, remove the urinal. After the person may void, the urinal will be removable. And after that, collect urine in container if required and empty urine into toilet. After that, cleanse the urinal. Allow patient to wash hand and penis after voiding. Remove gloves and wash hands. We must be remove the gloves and wash our hands. Record and report patient's ability to use urinal output and characteristic of urine. Record amount of urine passed if needed. Okay, this is all about urinal. Urinal. The need of urinal is bedridden male patients using an urinal. And what is the main purpose? To give perineal care and to observe and collect specimen for diagnostic procedure, to meet and maintain the elimination needs of the client. And after that, providing bedpan. From whom this bedpan will be provided? To meet the elimination need of a bedridden patient. What are the types? Regular and fracture bedpan. Purpose? To collect specimen and to give perineal wash and to perform bowel and bladder training. To facilitate bowel and bladder elimination in a bedridden patient. Okay. This is bedpan. Okay. This is bedpan, and during this procedure we must use disposable gloves and clean bedpan with a lid and draw sheet, soap, warm water in jug, Macintosh and specimen container. Okay, first we have to assess the patient's bowel examination habits and routine pattern, effect of certain foods on bowel elimination and normal fluid intake. And after that, we must assess patient's level of mobility and required and positions that the patient can assume. After that, abdominal pain, any hemorrhoids, irritation of skin surrounding anus, we must be assessed. And after that, provide privacy, warm bedpan under warm running water, position bed to convenient height, elevate side rails on opposite side. Okay. We must wash hands and wear gloves and provide privacy to the patient and warm bedpan under warm running water, position bed to convenient height, elevate side rails on opposite side. After that, in patients who can move lower limbs, ask patients to flex knees, resting weight on back or legs and then raising the buttocks. After that, position patient to side lying position and place bedpan against buttocks. Elevate patient's bed to a semi-fowler's position or support patient's back with pillows. And after, cover the patient with blood linen. Okay, and elevate side rails. While removing bedpan, hold bedpan steady, remove it, cover it and place it away. If patient can help himself, if provide perineal and anal care, we must provide soap and water for the patient to clean his hands and dry hands thoroughly to avoid transmit of infection. And after that, send bedpan to sluice room. Remove gloves and wash hands. Position patient comfortable and change linen if wet. We must be change that linen. And after that, record the procedure. This is about bedpan. Okay. From whom we use this bedpan? Meet the elimination need of a bedridden patient. Okay. What is the main purpose? To collect specimen or perineal wash or to perform any bladder training. Okay, bowel and bladder training. This is bedpan. We must wear disposable gloves and wash our hands thoroughly before starting the procedure. Okay, and after finish the procedure also we must take care of ourselves. And after that, if any bed wet is there, we must be changed that bed sheet linen and elevate side rails. We must assess the patient's bowel elimination habits, routine, pattern, effect of certain foods, and bowel elimination and normal fluid intake. Okay, this is about urinary retention and collection of urine specimen, and after that, providing urinal and providing bedpan. These urinal and bedpan should be used. Whom we use? The patients who are bedridden, that patients only we use this bedpans and urinals. Okay, and after that, condom drainage. It is a soft pliable rubber sheath applied over the male penis. What is the main purpose? To drain urine, incontinence and unconscious patients who have complete and spontaneous bladder emptying. We must be use this condom drainage. Okay, to drain urine, incontinence and unconscious patient, we must use these condoms. What is the equipment? A tray containing condom, adhesive tape, urine collection bag with drainage tubing and basin of warm water and soap, towel, washcloths, cover sheet with protective sheet. Okay, these are all the equipments needed for the condom drainage. First, we have to explain procedure to the client and assess the status of patient, and afterwards wash our hands and wear gloves, provide privacy to the patient, assess the patient in supine position, assess condition of penis and apply disposable gloves, provide perineal care and dry thoroughly. And after that, prepare urinary collection bag and tubing, apply skin preparation to penis. Okay, apply skin preparation to penis. With non-dominant hand, grasp penis along shaft, and with dominant hand, roll condom sheath onto penis. There may be 2.5 to 5 centimeter of space between that. Okay, and after that, the end of the tubing end of condom catheter we must be connect and place patient in safe and comfortable position and remove gloves, dispose of contaminated supplies and wash hands. Okay, this is all about condom drainage. And return in 30 to 60 minutes to observe for urinary drainage. After that, record. This is about condom drainage. And after that, what are the main guidelines? When changing condom, clean the urethral meatus and penis thoroughly and check for signs of skin infection. We have to check any skin infections are there. And after that, change and drainage tubes are changed on alternate days. Okay. Catheterization of the urinary bladder. Urinary catheterization. Urinary catheterization is introduction of a tube or catheter through the vagina into the urinary bladder to drain the bladder. What is meant by urinary catheterization? It is a tube or catheter through the urethra into the urinary bladder to drain the bladder. It is used to drain the urinary bladder. Okay, what is the main purpose? To get a sterile urinary specimen, and that specimen may send them to the laboratory for diagnostic purposes. And after that, to empty the bladder, if urinary retention will be there, the person may suffer with urinary retention or any other causes, they may be empty the bladder, this urinary catheterization will be needed. And after that, to measure the amount of urine. And next, there may be any surgery or any in that surgery, rectum, vagina or any pelvic organs will be there in that surgery they must be to empty the bladder. This urinary catheterization may be useful. And after that, to prevent urine passing over a wound, and to continuous bladder drainage and irrigation, and to manage incontinence. And next, what are the main principles for urinary catheterization? Are microorganisms are present in the environment, on the articles and skin, and the pathogenic organisms are transmitted from the source to a new host directly or by contaminated articles. And after that, before cleaning the area where there are more organisms, minimize the spread of organisms to the clean area. And we must follow sterile techniques for this procedure. And a break in the integrity of the skin and mucous membrane provides ready entrance for microorganisms. Lubrication reduces friction. And after that, systematic ways of doing saves time, energy and material. Any unfamiliar situations produces anxiety. Okay. And next one, what are the main indications? Acute or chronic retention of urine and urogenic bladder, hypotonic bladder, incontinence of urine, before surgical intervention of pelvic organs and investigation purpose. There may be investigation purpose and any surgery interventions of pelvic organs, or any chronic retention of urine in the bladder and incontinence, urinary incontinence. In these conditions, there may be use of this urinary catheterization. And there may be types are there: intermittent and Foley's catheter. What is meant by intermittent? Single straight use catheter is introduced for a period long enough to drain the bladder, and this intermittent catheter will be used when the period long enough to drain the bladder. When the bladder is empty, the nurse immediately withdraws the catheter. It can be repeated as necessary. And Foley's catheter, extended period until a client is able to void completely and voluntarily. Okay. And there may be some inches are there in children 8 or 10, and in women 14 or 16 urinary catheter sizes, and men 16 to 18. Okay. This is bladder, and here urethra and urinary bladder. Urine flows down the catheter. Okay, from bladder to urethra, the urine flows down. What are the general instructions to follow? Avoid catheterization unless order. Okay, we must take physician order for this catheterization, and after that we must follow strict aseptic techniques and never use force. In a good light only we must always catheterize. And after that we must clean that perineum downwards and to the anal region, and clean the urinary meatus area around with a disinfectant solution using downward movements. One cotton ball swabbing we must use it for that procedure. And don't touch the portion of the catheter that is going into the urinary tract, because if we are touch means the infection may pass through that catheter. There may be the person may able to get that infection, urinary tract infections. So because of that we must strict follow aseptic techniques. Lubricate the catheter well before introducing into the urinary tract, and keep the patient relaxed by providing privacy and explaining the sequence of the procedure. After care of the patient and articles, we must wash our hands and dry the perineum, and whatever drape sheet and protective sheet, we must remove that all sheets and replace the bed linen. If wet means we must remove that bed linen, and position the patient in correct alignment, measure urine and observe the characteristics of urine and record it. Wash the articles and replace in utility room. Send the urine specimen for laboratory investigation. Maintain an intake output chart. As a nurse, we must be maintain the input output chart. Okay. For indwelling catheter, ensure complete closed urinary drainage system. Empty the collection bag at least 8 hours. Keep tubings free of nits. And after that, we must remove the Foley's catheter by first completely deflating the balloon. And perineal exercises, it helps to restore sphincter control after a catheter is removed. So, we must instruct the patient to do perineal exercises. And what are the main complications for this urinary catheterization? Urinary tract infection or allergic reactions, because that rubber material used to catheter such as latex. So we must be careful that, and hematuria, blood in urine, and after that any tissue trauma during the insertion of the catheter. Okay, these are the complications of urinary catheterization. Okay, this is about urinary catheterization. The main indications of the urinary catheterization are any acute or chronic retention of urine will be there. There may be use of urinary catheterization or any incontinence of urine and investigation or diagnostic purposes. And after that, any surgical interventions. Before surgical interventions, we must be empty the bladder. Okay, if any pelvic organ surgeries, bladder and any pelvic region, in pelvic region there may be surgeries will be there, we must be empty that bladder by using urinary catheterization. And after that, and these are the main indications of for urinary catheterization. Okay, and procedure also we know. After care, we must clean the perineum and wash our hands and record the procedure on the nurse's record with date and time. Okay. And in that, what is the procedure for this urinary catheterization? Scrub our hands for a surgical procedures and lift the draping sheet back towards abdomen and open the sterile tray with aseptic techniques and place the sterile towel and place the patient in supine position and sterile kidney tray and sterile towel in front of the patient. We have to put sterile kidney tray and sterile towel in front of the patient. And after that, clean the perineum with the cotton balls dipped in the antiseptic solution using the forceps. And discard the swab in the paper bag and discard the forceps in an unutterable kidney tray. Pick up the catheter with a gloved hand, holding it about 7.5 centimeters from the tip and place the distal hand in the sterile kidney tray. Gently insert the catheter about 5 to 7.5 centimeter female. The urine will flow into the kidney tray. And after that, collect the urine specimen if required and attach the drainage tubing if an indwelling catheter is put in. Okay, this is the procedure of urinary catheterization. Cleaning only in one direction. Use only one swab for one swabbing. And clean labia majora on both sides and clean the vulval outlet also. Okay, this is about urinary catheterization. What are the solutions? We must use in antiseptic solutions normal saline or any Dettol. Okay, spirit, sterile water. These are the solutions we are used for. Use it as an antiseptic. Okay, thank you.